For clarity, I will repeat what was already stated earlier. Chancellor Brüning of Germany, in other words, the President of Germany, ordered Mr. Hjalmar Schacht, then President of the Private Reich Bank, to stop Max Hebecker and the new unhoardable money with demurrage, or holding charges. History's tragic course would have been changed if, without such intervention, the almost 7 million unemployed would have been rapidly absorbed by the industrial recovery under the dynamic circulation of wara. Its volume could have been centrally regulated so as to match it with production. Brüning, the deflation chancellor, would have been called the permanent prosperity chancellor instead. Hitler would not have come, as the result of the various German elections unmistakably proved that whenever economic conditions improved, the Hitler Party suffered hopeless loss. Hitler would have never found the support of the millions of unemployed workers and never gained political power. There would have been no World War II, with the sacrifice of hundreds of billions of dollars worth of material and the death of uncounted millions of men, women, and children. Instead, Germany would have set the example for all the world as to how to realize capacity production, ever-increasing general prosperity, the elimination of debt and interest burdens by the increased wealth production, and, with the economic problem solved, the simplification of government. But in order to save the interest and debt system from destruction by economic expansion, the money power of the world appeared on the scene to destroy such an example of ever-growing financial and economic freedom, which would have destroyed their rulership of the world. Where do we stand today? The non-application of money reform impels the nation to resort to bureaucracy and regimentation in some form or other. But such political development means limitation and final loss of our freedom, which can only exist on one foundation: economic freedom. Without economic freedom and independence, as can only be established by a money serving man unconditionally in the exchange of his products and services, democracy has no reality. Democracy and plutocracy are incompatible. Two masters opposed to each other cannot rule at the same time. Bureaucracy, Marxism, can and may tolerate the financial power over them. They may be but tools in the hands of money power, in order to extract by means of them the gigantic interest tribute of the entire national wealth for the financial power. But freedom is lost in such a state of financial and bureaucratic enslavement. Free economy, or neo-economy, N-E-O economy, the Gazelle School of Economics, wipes out money power by making money a servant of man, and frees the individual economically, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Man will be lord of himself at last. His fate will rest in himself, in his physical, mental, and spiritual abilities and their development, not in the hands of superiors. He will evolve to the stature of a real freeman and a nation of freemen, freed from the tyranny of hoardable money, to be the realization of Americanism. We are at a great historical crossroad. Are we merely going to drift we know not whither, or are we courageously and informed going forward? Americans aboard. The ship of the nation is in dangerous waters. Man your battle places for freedom against state slavery. Your victorious weapon is money reform. Readers everywhere, the incomparable message of this booklet must be made known to all, but especially it must be discussed with children of all ages, beginning early, so that clarity and natural sense can guide their actions in this new age of the natural economic order. The example is needed. How can we presume to hold up our own social system as a pattern for other nations to follow, whilst it breeds selfishness, unrest, and dishonest competition amongst our own people, and whilst it is dominated by a decadent financial system? How can we hold out to the world the promise of justice under a new and better economic system that will eliminate poverty, malnutrition, and unemployment, whilst no such system exists, and whilst our own system is still permeated with the same evils? This was said by V.C. Vickers, former governor of the Bank of England, in his book titled Economic Tribulation. The cardinal rule of abundance economy. All economists that I know of are now agreed that idle dollars breed idle men in time of depression. A major reason for unemployment is money in slow motion. It follows that insofar as the rich promptly spend or invest their gains, they help to keep the dollar circuit closed. Insofar as anybody hoards his income, he is abetting unemployment, essentially causing unemployment. This is a cardinal rule of an interdependent abundance economy. Society's quarrel is no longer with moneyed people as such, but with people who will not use their money to employ men and build mass markets to absorb the fruits of mass production. This statement was said by Stuart Chase, S-T-U-A-R-T, November 43, in a book called Common Sense. The title of this book was changed, and so you may have better luck finding it under the title of The Economy of Abundance by Stuart Chase.